Hi guys, welcome to Rootstem, and in this video I'm going to be looking at alternatives to Warhammer 40k while you're at home in isolation, because Tabletop Simulator is great but it doesn't really give you the same feel. So I'm going to try some alternative games such as some real-time strategies, and in this series I'm even going to be trying some other computer games that might be able to do a fix. But before we begin, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. It does help us out a hell of a lot. So the first game I'm going to be looking at is Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War. This came out a bit back. It's not brand new, but it might be something worth investing in if you are looking at doing some form of turn-based strategy game set in the 41st millennium. Now in this game you actually play as 4 different factions. You can play as Orcs, you can play as Necrons, you can play as Imperial Guard, and you can play as Space Marines. Each faction itself creates a difficulty level. So playing as Space Marines tends to be easier because you do have a unit cap limit, and that unit cap limit can actually determine which units are going to be better off at playing. Space Marines can take more damage, deal more damage. Orcs can take more damage, do a lot more close combat attacks. Imperial Guard, you've got the same number of units, but it's like for every 5 men of Imperial Guard, they're just Imperial Guard. They are not that cracking and they die quickly. So to begin the game with, it's quite an easy basic menu. We're going to be starting a new game because I did play this before, but I've actually just recently downloaded it. And as you can see, it gives you 4. You can even add more players, so we can make it even more difficult for ourselves, or we can reduce the amount of players that are playing. And you can either have these as specific armies to go against, or you can have these as random, which is, at the moment I'm just going to keep myself as Space Marines. And you can actually have teams, part of an alliance, and we've got 4 different we're going against 3 different factions. Difficulty medium, medium world size, medium lab mass. It's all like a map-based adventure, and of course you've got the different reinforcement DLCs. So there's all sorts of different options for your randomization of your terrain. So when you're actually playing a game, you're not really playing a campaign or anything. You're playing kind of like a one-off game. Now I'm saying one-off. I've played this a couple of times, and what you tend to find is you spend hours and hours and hours building and building and building and then attacking and then trying to wipe each other out, and they're doing the same thing. So it's a bit like playing, if you can remember, the Warhammer 40k tile system, the campaign as it were, but you're kind of doing it on a bit of a grandiose or larger scale. Let's give this a whirl anyway. So we've come into it, we've got 2 units of tactical Space Marines. I am going to try and do this without the tips. And it's a very simple interface. I believe this is kind of like your starting area. And if you can see, a bit like Civilization, if you ever played that particular game on top-down. Right click interface, it's quite easy. And what we're trying to do, it's not true to scale of course, but effectively I've moved them 2 units. We've actually got wire weed discovered, we've got some ore fields, and we can end our turn. And then the enemy takes their turns, and we take them one at a time. And it's going to be us. If I believe I'm correct on this, once I've gone onto this location, I can now should be able to build something. I'm trying to remember. Deploy fortress. Select target. There we go. So if I go, let's deploy that fortress there. Oh, trying to remember how to use that. Sometimes it's right click, sometimes it's left click. And this is where your resource building starts. So you're allowed up to 6 different units. You've got different elements resource. And then of course you can construct different things at your particular great halls and your orbital relays. That's just mainly like a Fortress of Redemption. As you can see, there's quite a lot of the 40k elements that are actually in this. Yes, I know about the unknown treasures, but just trying to show people how to play the game quickly and to see whether or not what it's like. Right, and this is what I meant by the bad guys. If you can see here, we've got some random Kroot hounds that are just bad guys, just there. I'll probably be better trying to sweep some of these Space Marines. Space Marines can move quicker on roads and through your own things, so we put them into that particular building and have them rest. Now the building can acquire a tile, build a generator, build it on itself. I think you can actually, it's mainly where's my barracks? And that basically tells you how many turns it's going to take to actually develop. Now I'm going to give this a go, come back, and we'll see what this is like. I'm getting hammered. Tell you something, these Space Marines in this are acting very much like they're doing 40k. Get killed quite quickly. So I'm bringing you back in. I've managed to construct the Apothecarium. This allows me to build additional units, and it takes 6 full turns to produce a unit of Tactical Space Marines. When you're in your research, you have to, I've already built my armory. I'm wondering when I'm going to be able to get my ground vehicles. And these are just little tiny bits. So you've got tactical doctrines, increase the accuracy, so it basically makes tactical marines a lot better. I'm currently researching frag grenades, because last time I played this, frag grenades were really useful. And of course you get, once you've done 2 of these, you can get onto the next tier and the next tier and the next tier. Devastator Space Marines, you do eventually as well come across Terminators, Dreadnoughts, Whirlwinds, Predators. You can actually build, you can pretty much build everything, but it is a building it is more of a building simulator and a ground holder. This one lone Space Marine, I think I'm going to make him run away, because he's going to get absolutely annihilated if I carry on. These lads, because there was another unit of Vespid up here, they're going to be moving down. I'm just going to try and do as many casualties to these damn things as I possibly can, because they took this off me. I did capture it and then they swooped in. And if you do some shooting, you don't get your Overwatch. Overwatch can be quite useful to try and stop units from coming into you. Guard are pretty good at that. But at the moment, units do heal on their own, but it takes time. And I'm currently trying to expand this city. This is what this is about, into the adjacent areas. Now, each adjacent area, when you come to do a city expansion, tells you what bonuses you can actually get. So some of it's influence, some of it can be tundra. So like that can give you a bit more research and more requisitions, possibly because you've got some people mining the land. Here it just gives you nothing really, it just gives you 3 extra spaces to be able to build. It also tells you how many things you can put into each one. So certain areas will have places where you can build certain locations. So like I'm wanting to create an armory or construct an armory, I'm going to have to get a location first before I do that. And then these are probably going to take a shooting again. And we didn't for some reason. Right, so the unit that's inside here. What I could do is to drop them out. So I'll try and drop them out into there. And I'll tell the Marines to hold until they heal. So they will actually just continue to do that until they're ready. Now, if I have a look, because I think I've only just opened that, it doesn't let me construct anything. No valid targets. I'm wanting more stuff, and you're not letting me have more stuff. Still only got a unit tactical Marines here as well. See, what I've done is actually acquired, because I've not been paying attention, I've acquired something with no building tiles, but I did actually tell the thing to get hold of that one, which is going to have 3 building tile sections on there. Apologies, I keep looking into the wrong section of the camera. This battle's taking ages. Hey, nearly did them finally. But acquiring that tile gives me all that extra influence, even though I can't build anything in that particular section. Sometimes it's worth trying to expand into a certain area. It is the base building. It is more of a base building game, I suppose, than anything else, really. Yeah, I'll catch that back. But if you do take areas and tiles like that as an example, when you go to normally acquire more tiles, there's normally more that you can actually do. And then you can start building extra. You can build stuff to build extra cities. Not build generator. So I might have to build some. I'm definitely gonna have to build a generatorium. And you find, because at the moment I've got a maximum of 6 keys holding until they've healed. So your hit points are there. You've got about 15 hit points. It's back up to 3, which means I've got a space marine left. Feels a bit like epic sometimes. We've got some old Vesper coming in, and this is my automatic defences kicking in. We'll try and take it down. My building. Frag grenade research has been complete. We can now have frag grenades with units. Now, try and engage them. You see, they've got grassland, awkward fungus and bush, so if you click them, it should be able to tell you whether or not they're actually in cover. They have 19 hit points. Vespers are quite strong in this. Outpost, so I'm actually on cover. They're on some. So I could, because that can actually attack those. I know it's not to scale, but I am constructing infantry. Go away. You can disable these tips. It's just because I've not played it for a while, I am still paying attention to them. You can see they're healing nicely. We've got frag grenades. Consumes action, consumes movement. So what I could do, testing them, and then we frag grenade them. Very powerful stuff is frag grenades. When you can see here, we've got some crew hounds turning on. I'm not going to be a lot of damage from your bases. The bases can be quite difficult to actually take out, and once you've killed units, you get XP. The more XP you get, so you don't really want to waste units. You want to try and keep hold of them. I know I'm rambling. Let's see what it's like in a couple of more turns. So what we've got here is some action going on. I've actually got some enslavers. Now I'm going to be able to. So we've actually got some enslaver units. Apologies, I keep bending down. It's just easier. They've got 2 units left. They've actually been engaged. They're quite a very fierce, very hard unit to come across. Majority of the stuff you will come across to start with in this game is bad guys such as these. Now I've managed to get 3 squads of tactical marines, but one of them's, thankfully that one that got chewed up earlier has come back. The other unit is being demolished. And I don't think at the moment, yeah, I'm able to produce that, but I'm not producing a lot of this particular requisition resource. So I'm not only am I fighting a front, I'm having to think about what tiles I'm doing and what I'm acquiring with my tiles, which is what I'm currently doing now. I'm acquiring a new tile, and then I'm going to be building a construct refractory. Hopefully that's going to be enough resources to be able to do that. If not, you can always delete the actual thing. I've got generatorium coming in. That's giving me some extra energy, which is what I need. But I've also having to do research So I can't just do research into my weapons, I've also having to do research into my population, because of otherwise your population grows and then everything starts to fall apart. It's a very, very management heavy game with combat thrown in. Now, like I said, the combat it's good, quite like it, but it's not exciting. And with it being not that kind of realistic, does have limitations. And a lot of the bad guys, I'll be honest with you, if you're going to just start having a go at this, maybe just go on the easy mode straight away. The bad guys can be really difficult to actually come across. They can be really difficult to defeat. So ending my turn, and then he's either going to fall back or he's just going to try and annihilate me. Oh, and he's enslaved them. Oh, great. I forgot what they did. So now that units is his, but some units are just insane. Come on, you can defeat them. You can defeat them. Yay! That unit now becomes mine again, but he can't do anything this particular turn. So what they might be doing is holding until healed. Now I've done that, I've clicked that. That gives me some additional actions to be able to play with them. And so now I've got the extra area. As you can see, I'm now building up the refractory. I'm probably going to be looking at building another one of them before I start constructing their armory. I'd only have to wait another turn. I'm currently on +4 per turn, and if you hover over it, it tells you what is actually chewing it up, what's actually taking some of the resources away. Capture other tiles. As you can see, I'm starting, my area of influence is starting to come out there. No, I'm not going to capture any more tiles. If I capture another tile, it means I can't build another one of them, which can generate me additional resources. Kind of what I need. So just click away, and again, I'll bring you back in a couple more turns. So, played about half an hour of this, and as you can see at the moment, you don't get very far in a certain space of time. I'm still trying to some volcanic rocks there, but then there's wireweed in the next tiles. It is much of a strategy game with the skin of Space Marines across the top. You can deploy your tactical doctrine. And we can actually have a second Fortress of Redemption now, which will be pretty sweet. You do get a lot. You can get quite a lot of extras. These Fortresses of Redemption are what you really need to put one there. I'll keep it. It's knowing as well between right clicking and left clicking. Sometimes you right click, sometimes you left click. It's a bit annoying, if I'm honest. I've deployed that, and that costs you resource. As you can see, it's mainly this particular section you influence. So now I'm making everyone doubly large, and then that should give me a +20 once I actually capture it. You can even put Space Marines inside your buildings. Oh, they've already moved, that's why I can't do that. I think these might need to start going up that way. As you can see, certain tiles will give you extra pieces, they'll give you better bits. It's just whether or not you can move on to them at the moment. I can only move on to these particular tiles. And now with other races, you actually get more bases as well. I'm not really going to go into those, it's mainly for you guys to have a go at. But I'll be honest, if you wanted to spend an evening playing this, you can even have a go against your buds as well. So you can actually take it in turns, so you can invite them to be a race. They'll be at the opposite side of the map, and then of course you take it in turns. But it is a long-winded game. It's not a game that you're going to be able to go, yeah, I'm just going to play an hour or two. You literally have to be at it for a couple of days. I think the last time I rocked up, I had a quick go and I rocked up 18 hours and I did Guard. That was it. 18 hours of just playing Imperial Guard, and this is after half an hour of me doing this already on this particular scale. So as you can see, it is going to be quite a long-winded game. But yeah, thanks for watching this one. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button if you do want to see more. I'm going to be playing some other games as well. I'm going to try and keep these rolling out during our lockdown period. I am working still because I do get to work from home, but I'll try and get these done as much as I possibly can. I think next time around I'm going to go for a non-40k related game. I might even go for a non-strategy based game, but we will see. So keep your eyes peeled, keep open, keep safe out there as well, and try and get your gaming fix as best as you possibly can. So see you next time.